What is good people? You are now listening to another episode of At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and once again, we're joined by an extremely special guest. I had the pleasure of being introduced to this brother by the good guy, my dog Shelton Starks, friend of the podcast. He shot me a DM, got us together in a group chat, and basically he threw me the alley oop. And I mean, look, I'm all for promoting black baseball, and especially black baseball fans. So I had to jump at the opportunity. So my guy, born in Flushing, grew up in Flushing, Queens, chef extraordinaire, currently residing in the 704. Ladies and gentlemen, we got my man Chef Calvin in the building. What's good, man?
Appreciate you, man. Everything is good, man. Shout out to Shelton too for making the connect because he knows I love baseball and it's pretty tough, living down here and you don't got too many cats that talk about baseball, especially folks that
Right.
look like us.
Yeah. So, man, let's get right into it. What was it like growing up for a
Yep.
young Calvin growing up in Flushing, Queens?
It was awesome, man. It was an experience. So, you grew up with cats from all around the world. If you hear of New York being the melting pot, but to be honest, like Flushing, Queens is the melting pot. I think some wild, ridiculous number of languages, are just spoken there. And I grew up with a bunch of kids from everywhere. Down here, you got like one kind of like Latino base, but we have everyone there. You know what I'm saying? When it came to like, Asian culture, we had every Asian culture there, and the food is delicious. And it was just a wide variety, and it opened up my mind to be able to, not stay in a box,
Yeah.
and try to stay competitive because those cats, I mean, they work differently, So it was a good experience, man. It was something out of a movie.
Nice. So, I see also, I mean, so what sparked your love for the culinary arts?
My grandmother, she came over here when she was 13 years old from Puerto Rico. She came to the mainland, and when she got here, she was basically, a servant for, you know, uh, some wealthy folks, and she ended up being under a lot of chefs. And from my understanding, a guy was like out of a cook. And she just ended up sitting in the kitchen and watching. So she ended up getting a chance to cook, and she just, both of my grandmothers, to be honest with you, but there's one in particular, that came over from Puerto Rico. And not only that, culinary or food brings family to the table because, at the end of the day, you can have arguments with your sister, your brother, whatever. But when you sit down, you're going to sit there, eat, and enjoy the experience and that family that, that togetherness, that bond. You're breaking bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt. So, when did you try your hand at cooking?
Well, I've been cooking since I could see over the stove, but I've been in the food industry for 25 years.
Wow.
So, since like is it just was the food was always around me, the industry was always there. I had other things I wanted to do. I'm also an artist, like I went to school, I was an art major.
Okay.
Um, but the struggling artist thing wasn't really for me. So I was like, yo, let me just go ahead and be a struggling chef. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it was able to. It was another way for me to express art. My form of art, and my passions and my love. And I'm a big firm believer. Like I'm one of those cats. I could do anything. No, if I put my mind to it, I'm gonna do it. There's no there's no limit to what we can do, and it's just patience and practice, a
That's
lot of
key.
it.
That's key right there, for real. So,
Yeah,
what was the first thing that you cooked and you said to yourself, "Man, I think I got something with this."
man, it wasn't even anything I cooked. So I was a food runner at a really well-known Asian bistro in Hartford, Connecticut, and I was working with a really really like well-known chef at the time, and they came in to do like all these magazine spots and photos and pictures, and I got a phone call because I remember the dude like snapping the pictures in the kitchen, and I got a phone call, and this dude was like, "Yo." bro, you should go downstairs and look at the paper. And I was like, I bet. Go downstairs. He was like, yo, I looked at the paper and I was like, oh, there's a whole cover of me on the paper, you know what I'm saying, on food. So I showed it to my grandmother, the Puerto Rican lady.
Yeah.
And she was like, yo, my grandson's gonna be a famous chef. And like, that sparked my interest in cooking because I was around the food game for a long time already. But seriously cooking it really, and when she said that to me, I mean something just popped off, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna cook, it's gonna be it's gonna be my thing, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it.
Man, so she just put it out in the universe and it was just meant to be.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
So so what was your first cooking gig?
I mean, man, if you want to talk about it, really, see, everybody dismisses like fast food. You know what I'm saying? Because you
Yeah.
think about it, fast food is the industry, but nobody wants to talk about it. But yeah, I mean, you think about it, I was flipping burgers at McDonald's early. Uh, it was that's when I really started. But that one restaurant that I was talking about, I started to get my hands a little dirty. It was prep, and doing things, working on knife cuts, the basic skills. And that's where I started to learn, and I started to focus, and I really paid attention to the chef, and then I went to culinary school, and it helped me understand, like, instead of calling something a brown sauce, it was like an Espanol, or
Mm-hmm.
like a white sauce bechamel, so it just helped fine tune the little things that I didn't know. But yeah, I would say that that first restaurant was probably like that one was probably like 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I want to say. Yeah. It's been a while, man.
Yeah, man, you've been putting in some work, man. So
Yeah,
when
yeah.
did you move to Charlotte?
When did I move down to Charlotte?
Yeah.
Okay. When I moved to Charlotte 15 years ago.
Okay. So
I
what
moved down 15 years ago. I had got oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, what was the cause of the move?
Oh, I got full custody of my oldest son, man.
Okay.
And I wasn't raising him in New York City. It wasn't gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was my sister was down here, she was doing well, she had plenty of space, and she said, if you can get custody of your son, you come on down here. I was kind of a knucklehead for a little bit, but I got my stuff together, and when I got custody of him, it was on, there was no more knucklehead in me.
Yeah. Dope, man. So what was the biggest adjustment moving from Queens to Charlotte?
Culture shock, man. Like really, and it's nothing against like Charlotte or anything like that, but it's very like more so like black and white, right?
Yeah.
Like the pages is kind of written. When in New York it was like, I could wild out, like, and do what I want to do, and be myself. Down here was like you had to kind of be on your P's and Q's. That they don't want you here. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody wants a cat from New York coming in and just doing what he want to do.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I mean, because I've learned that. I lived in Baltimore, and that was wild. I was living there during the wire. Like I watched them filming it like outside my
Oh,
house.
wow.
So I already knew from living in Baltimore, like you just can't really go into somebody's home. It was like me in the projects in New York. Like you just couldn't come to my neighborhood and just talk to Shorty right there. It wasn't happening. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like you're gonna walk through like 30 dudes in the projects. But yeah, I would say it was the culture shock for me when I came down here. I'm used to being able to walk outside, go to the corner, play ball, or go to a baseball game. Like going to a baseball game was so easy. Going to anything, going to a museum. I love museums, and I collect a lot of stuff, and it just wasn't here, So I had to find the woods, so I started hiking. You know, I love
Dope.
hiking, and it was adjustment. You just gotta adjust. Like I said, people from New York or up top or anywhere, they have to understand like no place is like New York. You know what I'm saying? They get messed up and they're like, yo, I gotta leave North Carolina. And I'm like, yeah, you better sit down for a second, think about that. But uh, you know, it like I said, it was a bit of a culture shock, but you know, I spent plenty of summers in the South as a child growing up, so I knew what was up.
Okay. So where at in the South?
Beaufort, South Carolina.
Hey, let's go. You down in the low country.
Yeah. My grandma, my dad was a Marine, so you know Paris Island
Okay,
down there.
yeah.
And then my grandmother, my father bought my grandmother a house down there, or she bought a, can't remember, but she had a house down in Beaufort. And so summers were really intense, man. You know, like, you know, coming from New York City and then coming down to Beaufort was
Yeah.
crazy, you know, but we'd go crabbing and fishing, you know, and then my grandmother down here in the South, she was a beast of a cook too. So, you know, I was just around my other grandma a little bit more. But for the summers, I was down. I mean, we go get some crabs. You know, she lay out newspaper all over the table, dump a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of crabs on that joint. And
Yep.
I'm talking about we just sit there and eat crabs. It was fun. You know, I really enjoyed Buford. It's my first time I experienced racism too. Really experienced racism. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Was down in Buford.
Yeah. Buford's about an hour 45 from me.
Mm-hmm.
And man, yeah, it's been a minute since I've been to Buford, but yeah, I love it out there. Just being right by the water.
It's expensive now too, man.
Yeah.
You know, all them beach houses. You go to a rent like an Airbnb, it's like $300-400 a night. And I'm like, yo, bro, like,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's for a small
ridiculous.
spot.
Yeah. And then also, speaking of Queens, just recently
Uh-huh.
we celebrated the 30th anniversary of your favorite hip hop album of all time, Illmatic.
Illmatic.
So tell us what Illmatic means to you. I know it means a lot. I mean, especially with Nas being from Queens as well.
Well, so I know you ever heard of Large Professor? That's my people's.
Extra P, of
Paulie.
course.
Yeah. Paulie, yeah. That's my man's. He went to school, my sisters. One of my sisters, she's a professional musician. So I was around it, you know, like at
Yeah.
a very young age, I was around it. And people fail to realize, like, if you're in Queens, just because somebody has a number one hit or something like that, they're still in the street. So, you know, you seen cats all the time. You would see like Nas, LL, 50, you know, Run DMC. You seen them in the neighborhoods because they were still there. Mobb Deep, you know, Capone and Noriega.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was still at home, you know, and they still, and at that time, it was, you know, punch you in your face music. So it was it was like part of the culture to be in the street still, you know. So
Yeah.
they were there, you know, and yeah, so you know, Illmatic played a very special part, you know, to me, like growing up, and you know, just the whole vibe, like, you know, the it was nice to see somebody that looked like me, you know what I'm saying, felt like me, and he was able to speak his thoughts differently.
Yeah.
You know, that was the big thing. He was able to say things and say it in a different way. When everybody was just telling you I was going to punch you in the face, you know, he was talking about shooting his way out his mom Dukes. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like, it was just different.
Yeah.
It was a wordplay, you know. So that's how like I really became a big fan of Illmatic. It was to me, it's one of the greatest pieces of work ever. But you know, that's for debate, you know. So
Oh, that's you won't get no debate from me. I wore that album out in high school, dog. Seriously. What was your favorite track on the album?
world is yours.
Can't go wrong with that. I remember the first time I
World
heard
is
that.
yours.
Even the video is dope, man. That just the black and white. I remember watching it on Rap City, and my pops came in the room when I was watching it, and
Yeah,
he's not in the hip hop at all. But it stopped him in his tracks. He was like, man, he was like, I like this. This is nice.
yeah, yeah. Most definitely. Yeah, no, it's definitely something special, man. I love that album. Like I have it behind me, like it's in my vinyl
Yeah,
player right now, like in my record player. You know, I collect vinyl still, so you know a lot of cats
yeah.
don't mess with that vinyl, but yeah, I still got vinyl too.
Man, I think One Love is my favorite track on there.
Yeah, One Love is dope. One Love is
Yeah.
dope. One Love, that's a Q-Tip production. You know,
Yep.
more Queens
Yep.
on top of Queens. You know, that's all it was. It's just a bunch of Queens kids, you know, talented too.
Yeah.
You know, so and I grew up with Action Bronson. You know, I went to school with him from kindergarten all the way through high school.
And
You know
it's
what I'm
fun,
saying?
and it's funny you mentioned that because I asked Shelton, "Is there anything you want me to ask him?" And he's like, "Ask him about Action Bronson." So, man, you led me right to the water without even prompting. So,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
let's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
let,
So, like I said, you know, it's nothing for us to know each other like in New York City, you know. And
yeah,
then I would go to the Jamaica Avenue where the Coliseum was, you know, and that was down the street from my house. It was famous, you know, and they had the world famous sneaker stores and everything there. So, you know, everybody would be there. I'm talking about Fab. You would see so many people, man. It was ridiculous. And at the end of the day, it wasn't like you got really you know, like celebrity shop, you know, it was just like, oh wow, there goes this dude or that dude, you know,
yeah,
because they from the neighborhood.
right. It's an everyday occurrence for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, also, I saw that I was looking at your IG and I saw that you celebrated an anniversary of. Speaking of anniversaries, of you having your brain tumor removed. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, let's talk about that, man, because I'm that was the one that was one of the things that really caught my attention. So talk about what it was like living with that brain tumor.
So to be honest with you, they thought it was a cyst. So like when I was well into my cooking career, but I was working at like a retirement community. It's a really wealthy one. And I was, you know, I've been pretty good about not cutting my fingers off. So one day I was cutting at my board and like I like shaved my nail. And as I shaved my nail, I look at the cutting board and the cutting board like moves. Like my depth perception just goes out.
Oh man.
Right. Yeah, so it's like 5 feet in front of me. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Like, and then it felt like my world was always like jumping. It was odd, man. And I was walking into stuff. So I was like, yo, I got too much balance. I've been really good, you know, in life without breaking anything, cutting anything. So I go to the doctor. The doctor was like, you know, let me do some tests, whatever. Then, you know, they scan on my head and they, you know, called me back while I was at work and they told me that I had something in my brain. And I was like, okay. So I called them back. They were like, you got a cyst. So I was like, all right, bet, you know. So I go to the doctor. They were like, yes, you know, 75% of people have this cyst it's on a pineal gland, right? Or pineal gland, right?
Yeah.
Some people would say. So it was pushing on it, and I was losing my peripheral vision, and the balance and the depth perception was starting to get real bad. So they were like, we're just going to have to remove yours. Out of the 75% people is a very small amount of people that have to have it removed. They can actually, you could have it in your head right now, assist,
Yeah.
right? Wouldn't even know it, right? But as they performed the surgery, because it was supposed to be an hour and a half, they find out it's a tumor.
Mm.
So, and it had grown. It was about the size of a golf ball. So it was pretty big, but it wasn't cancerous. And it was a scary time for everybody else, not so much for myself, but for everyone else that that cares and family wise, it definitely was an issue. But for me, it was let's get it done. But yeah, now that I'm older, I'm like, man, somebody was in your brain, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, this just I'm glad that you were able to see yourself out on the other side of that tumor removal.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Because the guy that was in the recovery bed next to me, see what I'm saying? Like it was just like that was an eye opener. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for
Good.
asking about that too.
Absolutely, man. How long has it been?
2016, so 7 years.
Okay.
And I had a kid at that same year. Like later on that year, I had a kid. So
Oh
it was a
man.
big, big, big time for me.
Yeah.
It was stressful. But made
No
it out,
doubt. No
and
doubt.
everybody's growing and moving forward.
Good, good. So now we're going to get into some baseball, man.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
mean, let's go. New York Mets. Let's talk about it. What
Yes,
were your earliest baseball
let's talk
memories?
about it. All right, so my earliest baseball memory is Mets. It's the Mets. That's it. 86 World Series, 1987. I was at opening day with my dad and my family, and we got these rings, right? So they gave us these replica rings, right? So we were
Hmm.
like the first 5,000 fans or something like that. So we got these replica rings. And I had started like preschool or something like that, or I was outside and I had the ring on. I was sweating. And I pulled the ring off, my whole finger was green. So
Oh
that's
no.
because it was fake. You know, it was
Yeah.
fake metal. So my finger was green, and that was one of my youngest, and before that, I had seen, I think the week before that, I went to this place called Elm Drugs across the street from my house. Lenny Dykstra was there, Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter, and it might have been Mookie there, but I know those three were definitely there. And it was like a meet and greet at the local drugstore. This is how long ago this
Wow.
was. People did things and went to the local drugstore, you know? It
Yeah.
wasn't like CVS, it was like that corner drugstore, you know? And they
Yeah.
were doing a promotion. And so I got to meet them in baseball, like just immediately, that was it. That was it. Right then and there. I got pictures, like, and I posted them on the gram and stuff. I'm like 4 or 5 years old with like Mets jackets on, man. Like,
Yeah.
it's a lifestyle.
Yeah. I was looking at it. I was like, man, he was a young and he had that shit on too, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I,
I'm telling you, man. Like my youngest son is wild. Like you can't even talk to about the Yankees to him. He'd be like, "Oh, yo, like chill." Like like he's a big time Mets fan. I just took him to his first game in Cincinnati 2 weeks ago.
nice.
So we took him to the Reds, go see the Reds and the Mets play, and that was a dope experience. To take him on his first one. So yeah, man, and I'm going to see my Mets. I'm going to see Strawberry get his number retired June 1st. So I miss Doc, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
go home
because he just got his
June 1st to
retired.
see it. Yep, he just got his. Yep. I'm wearing Doc right now. He's on my back. I got Doc on right now.
Man, I was at the Charleston River Dogs game on Saturday, and somebody had the strawberry throwback. Man, I wanted to snatch that off him so bad. Them Mets throwbacks are so clean, man. Seriously.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
But
man.
I remember.
I'm a big fan of the throwback jerseys. Even like the pullover gray one with the stripe like this.
Hmm.
Oh, can't tell me anything about it. And the crazy thing is when I played high school ball, our uniform was the Mets uniform.
Really?
It just said Bayside. I'm
Okay,
serious. It was the same thing as the Mets uniform, just said Bayside on it.
man. I remember the first autograph I ever got from a player was actually from Mookie Wilson. He's from
Word? That's dope.
yeah, because he's from Bamberg, South Carolina, and my mom used to work for she worked for this mobile CAT scan company, and one of the stops was at Bamberg County Hospital. And he happened to
Yeah.
be in the hospital one day, and come to find out he was getting a CAT scan that day. And I was like, oh shit, that's Mookie Wilson. Like, what is he doing here? And I didn't know he actually lived in Bamberg. And so after he got his CAT scan, I was like, "Can I get your autograph?" He was like, "Sure." And he got the little yellow note, the little tiny yellow notepad, and he scribbled his name and handed it to me. He gave me a
That's
hug and
fire.
everything. I was like, "Man, that's all right, man.
That's fire,
You
man.
always you always
Shout
go,
out to Mookie Wilson. Yo, he's always at the Mets games too. He's a forever Met. He's
yeah."
forever a Met.
So, what were some of your favorite Mets memories?
My favorite Mets memories, I would say, man, like uh they're really disappointing, but they are good memories. Uh and it's been like really hard to be a fan, because we lost back to Kansas City, right? And then we lost the Subway Series. That was dope
Yeah,
to me to
2000.
watch the Subway Series World Series. We got spanked, but it was like we were there. Both New York teams were there. You know, a lot of good players. 86, of course. But that run with when we played Kansas City, man, I was depressed for like I'm dead serious. I ain't come out the room for like 2 days, man. Like, that's what my memories are. You know what I'm saying? Like my
Yeah.
memories are like, because I'm a Knicks fan too. So I'm
Okay.
honest. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, oh, I got plays for you, but like and favorite players. But man, it's really the rough memories, man, that keep me going and being a Met fan. Because like we look at it this year, we started 0-5, you know what I mean? And now
Yeah.
we're smacking everybody every series. So it's like, it's like up and down. It's up and down. It's up and down being a Mets fan. I mean, look at you. You got Texas Rangers on, man. Y'all know what the championship feel like. You know what I'm saying?
It took long enough. I literally waited. I've been a fan since '93, so I literally waited 30 years for this moment. But man, yeah, it's a good feeling.
With two Mets. With two Mets. You did it with two Mets. You
Yeah.
did it with DeGrom
Yep.
and
And Scherzer.
Scherzer.
Yep.
Scherzer, I was happy about Scherzer leaving though. I'm not even gonna lie to you, my man. Like I knew that was a wash. I knew that was a wash. I knew that was a wash.
Yeah, I think we
It was a
don't.
wash.
Yeah, and they're both out. I think Scherzer will be back pretty soon. I think he's on the 15-day DL. And DeGrom, I think DeGrom's because I think he had surgery earlier for a herniated disc. And then DeGrom, he blows his elbow out. I didn't realize that was the second time that happened. But he won't be back until like early to mid-August.
And it's crazy because like the Mets got rid of him at the right time.
Yeah,
You
they really
know,
did.
and that's the same what we did with oh, what was that kid's name, man? Oh, he was number 33. They called him Batman.
Matt
Oh, I
Harvey?
can't remember his name right now. Yeah, Matt Harvey.
Yeah.
Remember that? We
Yep.
got rid of him, and then
His
he was
body,
done.
yep, body just broke down.
Broke down. I don't know, it's something about Mets getting rid of cats at the right time. It's like they burn them out as pitchers, and it's like, yeah, go ahead, go do something, and
Yeah.
except for what's my man's Stroman that's playing on the Yankees right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's talking about him rocking a do-rag now. He was rocking a do-rag with the Mets.
Yeah.
Like, he was been rocking a do-rag, but now he's a Yankee, you know what I'm saying? So, they're gonna bring it out to light.
Yeah.
He's been out here though.
And man, talking about another pitcher that just broke down whenever he got with the Mets, man. My guy Johan Santana. I used to love watching him pitch. And then that shoulder just turned into pulled pork. And I was like, damn.
To pulled pork. Pulled pork. See, my favorite. See, I always liked what's my favorite pitcher of all time, of course, is Doc. I think Doc threw the illest 12-6.
Yeah.
Like known to man. Right? Like that 12-6 was the blueprint for the 12-6 to come later on. You know what I'm saying? And at the age that he was doing it, like nobody was giving Doc credit, like he should have got, I think. But I mean, he is retired now. Now we're starting to see that, 19 years old, this kid was doing so many things, But yeah, like when it came to, the pitches, I always like the funny guys. I like John Franco. I like Cologne. You know what I'm saying? Cologne being like 300 pounds on the mound, watching him hit a home run. That's a good Mets memory. Watching him hit a home run and then trot around the bases.
Yes.
That's a classic memory.
Yes.
And he pulled it. So that means he hit it early. He caught that ball early, put it in left field, right over the gate. I'll never forget that.
He was like 43 years old. No lie.
Yep.
No lie. He's my second favorite pitcher of all time, right behind Greg Maddux. I love Bartolo Colon.
Colon is that dude, man.
He is the best.
Colon is that dude. Nobody want to talk about Colon, though, man.
Big sexy.
Big sexy. He's the original, man. He's the 43 years old, man. And we enjoyed him. And the crazy thing is, like, you just get certain dudes on your team, and you're like, you know what? I don't care where they've been or where they had to go. Sometimes they just stay forever that Met,
Yeah.
And that's a nice thing about, being a Mets fan. Like, we just have some dudes that we just rock with, and we stay with them, no matter what. You get a couple guys, they leave, they come back, we still salute them as long as you did all right by us,
Yeah.
As long as you did, because DeGrom got one, all those cats got one, So I do appreciate Kelowna. That was my guy.
Yeah, mine too, man. Seriously. Him and David Wright. I was a big David Wright fan.
Oh, David Wright, forever a Met, forever a Met. David Wright will forever be a Met. Number 5, third base, that corner, he was gravy. You
Yep.
know. And then let's not even talk about it with my favorite Met of all time, Ray Ordonez. Nobody ever
Ooh,
talks about Ray.
old
He
shortstop,
couldn't
man.
bat worth a lick, but
That man
he
had
was the
range.
nicest shortstop ever.
He had range at shortstop.
Yo, my man couldn't throw. Yo, he couldn't hit anything. I'm telling you. I mean, bat 167, but his defense. Come on, man,
Yeah.
unmatched. This cat would be playing shortstop, shallow, end up in left field, diving in a way that you're not even supposed to dive and catch the ball like this. Like
Yeah.
his arms broke.
Yeah.
It's like the best. Ray Ordonez by far is like top tier Met for me. Like nobody, of course you had Jeter playing on the other side of the city at
Yeah.
that time, so it didn't look too good for Ray. You know what I mean? Especially he didn't have a good bat.
Yeah, for real. And then you had Jose Reyes.
Jose Reyes, man, he was hot.
Yeah.
He was hot, man. Jose Reyes had a really good run, and I think that you gotta remember it was David Wright. They had squads, man. That was the thing, man. Like especially like when you think about from the 2000 period to what was it 20? I think it was 2016. Whenever we went and played the Kansas City Royals,
Mm-hmm.
that whole period, man, there was a building process, and there was some really good Mets, and you had guys like Jose Reyes, David Wright, Ray Ordonez was in there. There was a lot. Cologne, the Francos, everyone was in within that period. That was a really good, but it just wouldn't go anywhere. It
Yeah.
just wouldn't go anywhere, and it was treacherous, man. Because when you would sit there and be a Met fan, it's like, okay, well, we look good. All-Star break come. It's over. It's always the All-Star break. Right? We look great. We look great, man. We look great. I mean, like right now, I'm feeling it, and I'm always going to be that guy, that's like, oh, we got a chance. This is not like being a Knicks fan. You know what I'm saying? With the Mets, you actually have a chance, I believe.
Yeah.
With the Knicks is tough, man. It's been a tough ride with them cats, but we talking about baseball, you know what I'm saying? Even though my Knicks are playing tonight.
I was about to say we could talk some Knicks too.
Yeah. Yo, man, the Knicks has been, if Jim Dolan would give up, the Knicks, man, because he owns the Rangers too, man.
Okay, I didn't know that.
For a long while, man. I'm a Rangers fan too. Rangers just won, beat Capitals last night. I'm hoping they play the Canes, because the Canes are playing the Islanders right now. I hope that we get to play the Canes, rematch of last year, and I get to go. And I'm going to Raleigh. I'm gonna watch the game. I'm going to the game. I already hit somebody up. I was like, yo, if you down, let's go to this game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm New York looking real good right now.
Yeah, y'all are.
We're feeling ourselves.
I watched the next game on it was Saturday night.
Yeah, Brunson though trashed it, man. 8 for 26. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's so much better than that.
But man,
shout out to Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, he had that dagger 3.
Yo, Josh Hart wearing that number 3 like Starks, and Starks is my guy, man. So it's I look at Josh Hart and I'm like, yo, bro, like if you gonna rock that number, play like you want to wear that number. So
yeah, you got to do it justice.
It's been a fun ride, and and we look good. We look good outside of Randall not being there too. Even though I think we paid him way too much.
Yeah. But man, the Knicks
gave him a bag for no reason.
I mean, yeah, y'all did. I can't even lie. But man, y'all are killing it though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it. Yeah, I mean, right now, Embiid being out. Well, when he fell the other night, I thought he was out, and you don't wish nothing bad on no players, never,
Yeah.
But if he's out, that's a for sure W, because Embiid is all of Philly, man.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to say that either. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody don't want to talk the truth, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. Without Embiid, there's no Philadelphia right now.
You're
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like it's not even a game. They might as well just not made the playoffs.
Yeah, because for real, he is the start. He is the straw that stirs that drink.
Yeah, and that's a big dude, man. That's like 7 feet, 300 pounds. That's a big dude, man.
Yeah.
And you know when you're that big, your feet go bad, your knees go bad,
Mm-hmm.
you fall, you break, you almost guaranteed to break something.
Yeah, like when he threw that joint off the glass and caught it, and I'm like, and then he landed. I was like, boy, here we go again.
Yeah, yeah,
Like he just came off of a meniscus tear.
yeah, yeah. He did, and it was. I'm just like, yo, like, come on, my man. Like, at least get healthy. If you know you're not healthy, you know what I'm saying. I know you want to play. I know you want to help your team. I know you're getting paid. But man, when the team is gone and you old, you see how Mike and them walk, man. These
Yeah,
cats walk crazy.
yeah, they do.
They walk crazy, man. They walk like they got like polio or something, man. Like it's crazy.
Man, I just the vision of seeing Embiid walking 20 years from now.
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Mm,
I seen Manute Bol, man, like years ago. Of course, before he passed away, but I seen him years ago. My man was walking with a cane and he could barely move. He was sitting down.
man,
He was like, and yo, that was the biggest man. That's probably one of the biggest humans I ever seen in my life.
I bet he was like
That's a
what
big
7'7",
7'6", 7'7".
7'6".
Yeah. Yeah. When he was sitting down, he was like my height. And I'm 6'1". Like, yo, I'm
That's
not even
crazy,
playing. Like he was sitting down and this dude was like for real my height. It was crazy.
man. So just taking it back to baseball for a second. Who are some of your favorite non-Mets players? They can be past or present.
All right. I was just talking about him the other day. Ozzie Smith,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? 13 gold gloves. Nobody talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Super athletic. Super athletic on the left corner. You know, loyal player,
Yep.
really good baseball IQ. You know what I'm saying? Vladimir Guerrero, senior. I always like
Best bad ball
he was a
hitter.
monster. The pine tar on the hands, the
Yep.
helmet,
The helmet.
no batting gloves. This my man was knocking. He was hitting doubles and singles. Remember when Son bounced the pitch and
Yes,
he still hit the ball? Like, and my man would reach for the ball and just knock it out the park. He had a sweet swing.
he
You
did.
know what I'm saying? Ken Griffey, super athletic, 630 home runs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a monster. Never got caught for none of the juice. You know what I mean? Frank Thomas, Big
Big
Hurt.
hurt.
Nobody talk. Nobody talk about Big Hurt, man. Big Hurt was that dude,
He
man.
was.
He
He
had the
was.
ugliest Reeboks, but my man was on point and playing in a place where it was tough, man. White Sox, that's another tough ball club to play for, man. Old
Yeah.
ball club and a very tough one to play for. You know, um, who else did I grow up watching? I'll take it back, and the only reason I know about him is because he's from the same city from where my grandmother was from, and he played before both of us was born. Is Roberto Clemente. Because
Yeah.
like when you watch his old tape and you watch him hit, man, he's considered one of the best ball players to ever play the game, man.
Yeah.
And you know, he didn't have the time, his life was ended early, But I think like, watching, you know, uh I'm not gonna lie, I always was a fan of, and I shouldn't say this on public, but I was always a fan of Jeter,
Yeah. Me too.
because I think Jeter like really was that guy at shortstop, you know. I thought he was a great ball player to actually come up through the ranks. He came through the farm league,
Yeah.
he came up through their farm, and he was their captain, and he's a damn good Yankee. Uh, I got a lot of favorite players, man. I do have a lot of favorite players. I just like it's baseball, man. Baseball is it's it's different, man. And I talk to cats because a lot of cats was just I was just having this conversation about why they don't have baseball teams in the South, right?
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, "Yo, you bugged out," because I'll explain why you don't have baseball in the South, right? Because it's not welcoming to other people, right?
Yeah.
So you think about where baseball would want it to go. Baseball wanted to go global, right? So if you put teams in like Alabama and stuff like that, you can't get us playing down there. Not without them acting up back in those days, right?
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? And it still carries on in sports because when you see Oklahoma City playing, right? And you see these young black athletes, they getting cursed out, called all types of wild stuff. Baseball didn't want that in the game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball was on some different stuff. They wanted to go global. You know what I mean? So that was my whole thing about, that's my thought on the progress for baseball and where it was gonna go and why it's not in the South so much.
Yeah. Have you been to a Charlotte Knights game?
Man, have I? I've been to a lot of it, man. Charlotte's a tough city, man. It's a real tough city. I think that Charlotte's a soccer city, man. I'm a
Yeah.
true believer that Charlotte is a soccer city, man. You know, you guys they got football late. Got you had a solid Hornets, franchise, and then you sent them to what was it, New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
And then brought them back, and then you named their team the Bobcats. It was the Hornet that's a whole situation, man. And I think it really messed up the fandom here, and I would say for the natives,
Yeah.
so because when you go to a football game, man, everybody from every other team is out there.
You're right.
You don't see too many Panther fans.
But
But
yeah, I
yeah, I've
went.
been to answer your question. Yeah, I've been to plenty of Knights games.
Yeah, I was up in Charlotte about 2 weekends ago and caught a Knights game out there. I love their ballpark.
Their ballpark is nice, man. Their ballpark is wide open. My boy, he does something there, man. He's like head engineer, something like that. So I've been going to the ballpark. Like I sit anywhere with my kids and stuff because of him. But
Yeah,
we used to go to the one in Fort Mill,
yeah,
when it was in Fort Mill. So I've
yeah.
been I've been going there for a while, man. I've been checking out the Knights for a long time, man.
Okay.
And only thing is, man, the pace is different. So you might get 10 ball, you might get 10 runs in a ball game. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Just errors or bad pitching, and it's like batting practice for them. So, but I want to go see the Savannah Bananas though.
yeah. I've been to one game. That was I want to say like 2018, 2019 when they were still playing in Savannah.
Was it
Oh,
was it hype like that?
yeah, yeah.
What?
It was lit. It was.
I gotta go see a game, man, because like they just had Roger Clemens out there. Like they bring out some old dudes, man.
Yeah.
To play and stuff. And I got a crazy story about Roger Clemens. So like 2 years ago, I got called from a dude that knew that I played baseball, and it was a league for dudes 30 and up, and but you had and guys could play that played in the league, right? But they had to be 2 years out of the league. Roger Clemens down in Florida throwing ball in this league. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good, bro. Like, there's no way I'm playing in that league, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm hurting right now from roller skating with my kids yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny you say that about the Knights game because the one I went to that Friday, the final score was 11-10, straight
They
up.
put up football numbers, man.
Yeah. The thing is, they played Norfolk. Norfolk had 10 they had 10. They put up 10 runs in the first inning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was bad. I
That's
think Charlotte's
crazy.
pitcher lasted like 1/3 of an inning, and he was
That
out of
sounded
there.
like that Mets game last night against the Dodgers.
I missed that one.
Oh, it was the other night. It was 2 nights ago. Yeah, it was like 10-0 when I turned on the game. Like, oh, I was like sick. But we won the series. So, we've been closing out a lot of series lately, winning 2-3. I think we got one sweep in one series. So, but I think we're 2.5 games right now behind. So, I'm just back to my Mets stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be patient with that. It's hard, man. I'm trying to tell you it's
Yeah.
hard, man.
So now we're going to get into the 5 question segment. So the first and last question are the same question I ask every guest I have on here. Questions 2 through 4 are 100% random. So question number 1, what were the go-to items on Calvin's school lunch tray?
Sandwich, butter crunch cookies, chocolate milk.
And a butter crunch, man. Shout out to Ghostface.
Yo, it was a real thing. Them butter crunch cookies was real, man.
Yeah, I just remember Ghostface talking about that. So, question number 2. What's your favorite verse on Reservoir Dogs?
On Reservoir Dogs?
Yeah.
You said verse?
Yeah.
I don't think I got a favorite verse, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't got no favorite verse.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'll answer that question. Sheek Louch gets my vote. So
Sheek Louch?
Yeah.
Why Sheek?
Because he always because he's never been afraid to bat lead off on posse cuts. That's one of the things.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy batting leadoff either, especially when you got, which I'm not gonna lie, Styles, like anytime when he has to bat leadoff, you still got Styles talking about Locks, Styles, and Jada.
Yeah.
And to me, Styles is probably my favorite out of the 3, even though Jada is like lyrically ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then when I always think of Sheek, I always think of Sheek like he's just gonna punch you in your face.
Yep.
Like, you know, like he come through, punch you in your face. I like that, man. I like that. Yeah, Sheek, yeah. Okay.
And Sheek is my favorite out of the Locks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. I don't, you know, like when you talk to folks, they really Jadakiss that dude. Like let's not ever get that out of context. But I don't think. Yeah, I've always been Styles P. I think what was it, Gangsta and Gentleman, that album, fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I always thought he was, for me, Styles was he was raw. You know what I mean? He really talked about his issues too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like he had some real issues. Like some was real problematic growing up. You know what I mean? Not saying taking anything from Jada and them, but like he expressed his issues, man. And I could kind of relate to a lot of what he was going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Sheek was just like, yeah, you right, man. Sheek he's like a punch in the face, man. Like he's a big dude too.
Yeah.
Sheek, you ain't see him on what was it, the joint when they went against Dipset?
Oh yeah, the Versus.
The Versus. Yo, Sheek, if he want to move bodies, bro, like ain't nobody really contest. He's a big dude, man. That's a big man. Yeah, now I don't see too many folks messing with Sheek, man.
Yeah, boy, I could imagine him just snatching Juelz up. He'd toss him into the 6th row with no problem.
Bro, Juelz, yo, prison didn't do that kid no good, man.
None.
Prison ain't do that kid no good, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, yo, like prison got him messed up, bro.
Yeah.
Like it got him messed up, bro. Yeah. Like yo, cats talk all that, bro, but not built for that, man.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, there was no reason for him to be in prison. No reason. Especially at the age that he was at.
Yeah, you're right. Teeth all gone.
Yo, what is it?
Like in the Versus, that man had on like 3 hats and like 4 different coats. I'm like, whoa, what is it? This man's going through something.
Yo, and it was like 100. You know it's hot under them lights, bro. And he was drinking.
Yeah.
He couldn't even remember his lines.
First song was I'm Ready. And when I saw that he messed up like 60% of his verse, I'm like, oh yeah, Dipset's in for a long night.
I got an excuse. I had brain surgery, so I can't remember everything. You feel me? No, this is a true story. It's a true story. Like I have to write everything down, right? Like that's how my day goes now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So if I don't understand something or like, it's just like I have to do exercises. I have to do like mental exercises all the time to try to remember certain things. You know what I mean? But I
Okay.
remember what's most important, like my wedding anniversary. You know what I mean?
Yeah. uh, question number 3. Who was your first celebrity crush?
All right. My first celebrity crush. Man, bro, might have been Apollonia.
You can't go wrong with
Might have
Apollonia.
been Apollonia.
You can't go wrong with Apollonia.
If it wasn't Apollonia, it was Vanity. Because Vanity, you gotta remember, we had Last Dragon, all that. Prince, yo, I don't care what anybody say. Yo, Prince had everything on lock. I don't give a you call my man whatever you want to call him. My man was killing him. He was the lightest of the light. You know what I'm saying? My man was getting his hair done with his girls. You know what I'm saying? And he was playing ball, like
Yes.
really playing ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think Prince really put me on to like Apollonia and them because the first movie I ever seen in the movie theaters was Purple Rain.
Mm-hmm.
My sister, I remember people smoking cigarettes in the movie theater. This is how long ago this was. People smoking cigarettes in the movie theater, like blowing down cigarettes. It was gross, man. Gross. People just blowing down cigarettes, eating popcorn, drinking soda, watching. It was gross, man. You know what I mean? It was gross.
And all right, question number 4. What's your favorite Wu-Tang solo album?
36 Chambers, man.
There you go. Can't go wrong with that pick.
Yeah. Let's rock with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think like, yeah, rock, yeah. Because it's you gotta understand Wu Tang is so dynamic, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just like even as like solo acts, you know what I mean? Like, just it's Wu Tang. My son just told me some wild thing about Wu Tang. What he say to me? Son said, so he told me, he said that they try too hard. I said, bro, what do you mean they try too hard, bro? He was like, yo, see, this is the young cats. I said, bro, when you the originator, how are you trying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nah,
Man.
young kids, man. I
Yeah.
try to listen to his music. I'm just like, whatever, bro. I got it. I get it, man.
Oh man, so you be out there getting sturdy with the young kids?
Never, never, never. I just did a benefit back in New York like last year or
Yeah.
2 years ago. So I'm out there, man. Yo, the young kids came out there like we feed our whole community. All the kids came out there, they getting sturdy and yo, bro, like I I'm not doing Harlem shaking that no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you might get a two-step out of me. You feel
Yeah.
me? Like, and the two-step is real shaky these days because I'm feeling it, man. Like I told you, I was on them roller skates yesterday. I was feeling it. I started to catch a little groove, and then I said, "Nah, man." I said, "I'm gonna fall and I'm gonna hurt something."
Man, yeah, I can't move like I used to. So question number 5, last question. What was the last thing that
Yeah,
really made you laugh?
that really made me laugh. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, my son Grayson. He makes me laugh, and I can't even tell you a time or anything because this cat at least once a day makes me laugh, and I'm talking about like laugh. I've never met somebody full of so much joy and who is the nicest, most kind person and is just hilarious. Like this dude is he today he was at practice. He threw the ball at the kid. The kid like gets hit. The kid's not even hurt. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he starts crying, right? Like, and he's like trying to hug it. I'm like, yo, bro, this is baseball, my man. Like, he's good. I'm talking about, yo, this kid is yo, he's a big dude. He's like Big Hurt on the team. He's the largest kid. Yo, he hit a line drive the other day. I promise you, this joint, had so much speed coming off the bat that this little kid that was playing first base was just lucky to just catch. I mean, he caught it like, and it's. I mean, this kid he's so powerful. But yeah, my son, he keeps me. He's the funniest dude. Like I can't even think of anything like that really makes me laugh about him. But and then internet keeps me laughing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Internet keeps me laughing. I tell you what really made me laugh. I'll give you one right quick.
Okay.
So I'm watching Kid Cudi fall today.
Oh
Yo,
man,
I was dying laughing. You ain't see him fall?
I did. You talk about
Did you see
relatable
how he
content.
tried to catch himself and he said "fuck it" and then yo,
oh man,
yo, the cord was in front of his leg, and you see that he couldn't catch. He couldn't catch himself. So my man said, he said, "Oh," he just went for it, just leaped, and he went right into the ground.
Yep,
broke his shit, broke his foot, bro, broke his foot. I
watched that about 20 times.
Yo, I laughed so hard from that. That was a good laugh. That was a really good laugh. Yeah, my kid keeps me laughing, but Kid Cudi, at the expense of his health and his broken foot, he made me like in tears. Because I had to watch it. It was like you had to analyze, like, because I'm like, yo, why did you jump? Like it was a parachute. He really just said, "Fuck," and just leaped.
Yeah,
and went like knee first into the ground. Yo.
Oh man.
Yo. And nobody came out with no memes or nothing for it yet. I'm like, yo, this is hilarious, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
That's
crazy. That's a real good one there. Man, so
that was a good one.
Yeah. So where can the people find you?
Oh man, I'm on Instagram, Chef Calvin W. Same for TikTok too. And then I got some new things coming out for my company that I own, Black Farms Matter. So look out for that. That's a big thing that I'm working on. It's been a really long process, but I finally got my ducks in a row. So I'm gonna start launching some stuff with that. Yeah, man, I'm on social media, Instagram, Chef Calvin W. Same for TikTok. I think I got a YouTube for shorts, Chef Calvin W. It's all Chef Calvin W. So if you look for me, Facebook, it's Calvin Wright. And I wanted to show you something real quick, man. Give me a second.
All right.
Give me a second.
Oh, yes. And
so we got the Cocaine Cowboys here. Yeah, it's autographed by all three of them.
Man, come on, man. You got Tampa, you got Crenshaw, you got Brownsville.
Yeah, man. I got the dunk signed by John Starks over there. I got behind me, I got Lawrence Taylor's Hall of Fame jersey autographed.
Man.
I got Talib Kweli, I got Black Star autographed. Man, I'm a collector, man. So I got a lot of stuff, man. It's crazy. I got Pele's jersey in here autographed. I got a lot of shit, man. That's what I got.
That's dope, man. Because I was looking at that's the
mesh fandom right there for you.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that picture too, to put in my house. But man, yeah. Gotta have that. I mean, you got Straw, you got Gooden and Mike Tyson in one pick. I mean, you can't beat that.
Yeah. It's like I gotta get a new frame for it, but it's a well-known pick, man.
Yeah.
So my wife knows I like to collect stuff, so she went. I think I got this for Father's Day or my birthday, one of the two, man.
Okay.
But yeah, man, she got it's autographed by all three of these cats, man.
Man, that's incredible.
So that's probably one of my favorite pieces that I have, man.
Yeah, word up. So, man, Calvin, thank you so much for being a guest, man. I had so much fun, for real. And Shelton, I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you too, Shelton, for the assist, no doubt, man. So, Thank y'all for
Yeah, yeah.
listening.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you like, download, and subscribe to At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. Make sure you follow my YouTube channel. I'm at Danny Foxworth 843, where you can find all the videos of episodes for this podcast as well as my other podcast since we last spoke. And for Calvin and myself, this has been another episode of At the Plate. And until next time, y'all be good. 3 strikes.